Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an evening of inspiration. Tonight's presentation will showcase some of the best and brightest talent from Emmanuel College, past and present. We hope that you enjoyed tonight's evening of inspiration. Creating the atmosphere tonight as you entered the foyer was Bradley Whitehead of Year 11 on acoustic guitar, Sarasa Deguchi of Year 7 on violin, Angela Kanar of Year 12 performing her solo monologue, The Circus Performer, accompanied by Daniel Tobin as MC, and in the theatre on piano was Emmanuel alumni Matthew Price. Beginning tonight's performance were students from Miss Sophie Peakin's Year 9 dance and gymnastics class. The 12 girls choreographed their own performances and worked together to choreograph the group section of the routine. Please welcome Miss Peakin's dance and gymnastics class.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, you big disgrace, kicking your can all over the place, singing, we will rock you. We will rock you.
I know you see it, don't try to beat it. I want to push it off, but it continues until I kiss you. So let's just take it off. We've waited all night, spoken to sunlight. Can you please take my hand? It's been a sweet ride, you know it must end. Just tell me where it's at. I wanna run away. I wanna run away, anywhere out this place. I wanna run away, 'cause you and Cause you know I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, bass. Cause you know I'm all about that bass, 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 Spread it like. Spread it like. Spread it like.
Visualize it. I'll give it something to do.
Visualize it.
I'll give it something to do.
Now, please welcome to the stage Nancy Shipper of Year 9, who is a 3-time Cool Schools participant and will tonight be performing for you her latest original comedy show, which will be featured on this year's Cool Schools album.
It's been a long time since I saw a comedy show. It's been a long time since I was in the front row. such a joke, had us nearly choke on our own fits of laughter. It's been a long time since I was your comedy show. Now we're back where we started from. Buy me a ticket, we're in for a laugh. Save me a seat, I don't want to miss this. When they say laughter's the cure for sinners to try, and guess all that you can, 'cause you're near the end now. You put on a show, got a standing ovation. If they ask encore, don't you dare disappoint them. Had us begging for more, wiping the tears of laughter away. It's been a long time since I saw a comedy show. It's been a long time since I was in the front row, where you made such a joke, had us nearly choke on our own fits of laughter. Where you made such a joke, had us nearly choke on our own fits of laughter. Left alone with the wilderness, no happy ending for you. Left alone in the solitude, no heroic ending just for you. It's been a long time since I saw a comedy show. It's been a long time since I was in the front row, where you made such a joke, had us nearly choke on our own fits of laughter. It's been a long time since I was your comedy show. Now we're back where we started from. It's been a long time since I saw a comedy show. It's been a long time since I was in the front row, where you made such a joke, had us nearly choke on our own fits of laughter. Where you made such a joke, had us nearly choke on our own fits of laughter. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage the Principal of Emmanuel College, Mr. Peter Morgan.
Special guests, inspiring alumni, ladies and gentlemen, staff, students and supporters of Emmanuel College, good evening. And welcome and thank you for joining us tonight in the Lighthouse Theatre for our evening of inspiration. In welcoming you, I acknowledge we are gathering upon the traditional lands of the Gundjamara and other tribes, and I pay my respect to their elders past and present. We are here tonight to be inspired by those who attended Emmanuel College and its predecessors St Anne's and CBC, as we acknowledge their achievements and the variety of ways in which they have made and continue to make their way in the world. Also, to see inspiration in the making through our current students who are excelling in musical performance, in human movement, in dramatic expression and vocal eloquence, in artistic expression, in academics and in sport. In short, through every dimension of human ingenuity. Tonight we will witness all the stages on the spectrum of human inspiration, from those who completed their secondary education in years past and from those who are but young in their formal education. Tonight we will see and hear from those who have carved out their paths and made a difference in the fields of business, in science, sport, service and the arts. And we recognise Brother Don Gallagher, Dr Lawrence Gleeson, Trevor Gleeson, Patrick Houlihan and Father Paddy Muggovan with their induction into the Emmanuel College Inspiring Alumni. We thank them for accepting this honour and for the ways in which their achievements inspire present and future generations of Emmanuel students. I also pay tribute to our current students, so many of whom are participating in tonight's event. And truly there were so many more whom we could have recognised than those that we have. I congratulate them for their willingness to be on stage and for all those helping backstage. It's not always easy when you're young to stand for excellence, as there's often someone ready to cut you back to size. This evening of inspiration recognises the achievements of our students and their willingness to rise above those who find it easier to cut down the achievers than striving for success or excellence. And the example of these students may very well be the inspiration that enables someone else to aspire to and achieve excellence. And while not appearing on stage tonight, I give thanks to the inspiring work of the teachers and the staff of this college. So whether an inductee, a current student or a staff member, you inspire in us the desire to be the best we can be. And as the principal of the college, I thank you. Finally, tonight, we begin the countdown to the celebration of an Emmanuel milestone in 2016. Whilst our college history spans 143 years, next year we celebrate 25 years as Emmanuel College. And the pinnacle of our celebrations will be the opening of the Emmanuel Centre, the largest development ever undertaken by the college. If it's possible for a building to embody excellence, the Emmanuel Centre will certainly make a statement about our aspirations as a college to excel. Later tonight you'll see a snapshot of the centre that's beginning to take shape in the grounds of our Macaulay campus. But now I invite you to sit back, relax and enjoy tonight's evening of inspiration, to savour the many wonderful achievements of our college and its members, and to recognise and congratulate all those who are a source of inspiration within our Emmanuel College community. Thank you.
Brother Don Gallagher. Growing up in Russell's Creek, Brother Don Gallagher received all of his school education at Emmanuel's predecessor schools St Anne's Primary and CBC. He was born in Warrnambool in 1925 into a very religious family and left home at age 14 to join the Christian Brothers. He went on to a long career in teaching at Rose Bay, Albury, Balmain, Goulburn, Bondi and Wahroonga before moving to Canberra. A watershed moment for Don was meeting Jack Bennett, a local Albury portrait painter who had studied with a well-known artist in Melbourne. At that stage, Don had no interest in portraits, but a community member, Brother King, encouraged Don to have a go, offering to sit for his own portrait.
I said, I never know nothing about painting portraits, but I'll have a go if you're prepared to sit for a few hours. So we sat out on the front veranda, didn't worry about lighting or anything like that. And I painted this portrait and it was pretty awful, I remember.
Jack Bennett saw the portrait and, recognising Don's potential, he offered to give Don a painting lesson in his studio. This demonstration was to change Don's life as he put Jack's knowledge into practice by painting portraits of students, colleagues and friends. Don became a very accomplished portrait artist who was shortlisted for the Archibald Prize. In the 1970s, Don was asked to paint a portrait of Edmund Rice, a daunting task as there were no existing photos or portraits to provide any authentic likeness. Don noticed a devout gentleman at Mass who he thought would make a good model. Don asked if he would be willing to pose for a portrait, and the resulting portrait of Edmund Rice has become the most widely used. Later, Don also developed an interest in landscape painting and was very successful. Don became a very accomplished artist who donated all of the proceeds from sales of his oil paintings to the Edmund Rice Foundation, a sum in excess of hundreds of thousands of dollars. As a tribute to Don, about 40 of his former students at St Edmund's College in Canberra donated the materials, skills and time to build a studio and gallery for Brother Don on the school grounds. The Brother Don Gallagher Studio Art Gallery was officially opened in 1994 by Anita Keating, wife of then Prime Minister Paul Keating. Don is also the author of 3 very popular books, See It, Paint It, A Story in Painting, and 58 Years Behind the Brush, and the proceeds of these books have also been donated to a scholarship fund. We recognise Don Gallagher for a life of achievement in the arts and of service to others.
Brother Don is unable to attend tonight's presentation. His award will be accepted by Brother Peter Richardson, the former principal of Emmanuel College and current college governor.
It's a great honour and a privilege to be here to accept this award on behalf of Brother Don Gallagher. As you're aware, Brother Gallagher is not well, having turned 90 just recently, and he's in our nursing home in Sydney. I'm delighted that his sister, Sister Imelda, who is a Mercy sister, is able to be with us this evening, and for her to be able to celebrate this honour for her brother. Don spent many years in teaching, and that was his main, of course, occupation, but he developed the skill, or found really the skill of painting, was encouraged to develop that, and we've seen the results of some of that this evening. So I think one of the messages I think I can bring you from Don is that when you find you have a talent, particularly artistic or musical, develop it, because not only do you gain personally and great sense of fulfillment and achievement, but you can give great pleasure and enjoyment to other people. So on behalf of Don, I thank Emmanuel College very much for this honour.
Cool Schools is an exciting songwriting and recording project for secondary students. Now in its 6th year at Emmanuel, Cool Schools promotes, develops and supports a diverse range of talent of all genres of contemporary music, writing and performance. Performers at the 2014 Cool Schools Awards night, please welcome to the stage Silver City featuring Austin Del Rio, Samuel Graham, Ewan Stewart and Declan Irvine to perform their track Iron Monkeys.
How you guys going? Hope you're having a good night. We're Silver City. Nowhere to go, no one to see. The irony of this ecstasy. Might miss our flight, might be running late, but there's no point to what we can't evade. Take me up, put me down, and check me out. Losing touch with my receipt when in doubt. To my love, I hold your hand and take my heart. But you, my enemy, I hate the hating us. 5 years from now, we will be roaming free. No one to see but our company. We missed our flight. We were running late. Who really cared when we had our lives to fade? You take me up, put me down, and check me out. Losing touch with what we see when in doubt. To my love, I hold your hand and take my heart. But you, my enemy, I hate the hating us. You, my enemy, just leave it to the dark. Thank you.
This year's Cool School album, Uncharted Sounds, will be launched at the Lighthouse Theatre on Wednesday the 16th of September, commencing at 7:30 p.m. Tickets can be booked at the Lighthouse Theatre and CDs will be available for purchase on the night or can be pre-ordered on iTunes today.
A member of the CBC class of 1985, Trevor Gleeson came from a sports-mad family with 4 older siblings who were all skilled in their chosen sports of football, basketball and swimming. Trevor played senior football locally, but when he was 18 his life changed after a hydraulic door crushed his back in an industrial accident. During the 6 long weeks in hospital, Trevor thought that his sporting life, along with his dream of a career in sport, was over. Although the accident was a difficult time in Trevor's life, it also became a catalyst for his coaching career. As a child, Trevor would sneak as close as he could to the Melbourne Tigers bench to get a better look at legendary coach Lindsay Gaze and his players during Warrnambool's annual seaside basketball tournament every Australia Day weekend. In 1990, at just 22, Trevor became the coach of the Warrnambool Mermaids and in 1992, the head coach of the Seahawks. In 1993, he earned the role of head coach of the Victorian Basketball All-Star team. Moving to the Gold Coast to continue his studies, Trevor coached the Griffith University men's basketball program and then moved his talents to Brisbane, where he landed his first job as a coach in professional basketball with the Brisbane Bullets. His success with the Bullets led him to the United States. Trevor became the assistant coach of the Quad City Thunder, which later led to a role as head coach in 2003 with the Sioux Falls Skyforce, where he met his wife Dawn. Trevor's next job was as assistant coach at the Seoul Samsung Thunders and with KCC and the Korean Basketball League in South Korea. After 6 years away in the US and Korea, Trevor returned to Australia in 2006 to coach the Townsville Crocodiles in the National Basketball League and was awarded the NBL Coach of the Year for 2010-11. The following year saw Trevor begin a stint with the Melbourne Tigers, the very same team he so admired as a child. In 2013, Trevor signed up as head coach of the Perth Wildcats, taking them to the top of the National Basketball League and winning the championship in 2014. In 2014, Trevor was appointed by Basketball Australia as assistant coach of the Australian national team ahead of the FIBA Basketball World Cup in Spain. Trevor describes his wife Dawn as a daily inspiration. While Trevor and his young family, Taj and Shay, were living in Townsville, Trevor urged Dawn to see a doctor after she discovered an unusual lump. A diagnosis of breast cancer followed. Dawn has been cancer-free since 2011, but the experience has inspired Trevor to become an advocate for women's health and a Western Australian ambassador for the Mother's Day Classic, an annual fun run and walk raising funds and awareness for breast cancer research. Trevor Gleeson overcame adversity and through commitment and hard work has achieved the highest levels in his chosen career. We welcome Trevor Gleeson to the Emmanuel College Inspiring Alumni.
Trevor is unable to attend tonight's presentation. His award will be accepted by Shane Smith.
It's certainly a great honour for me personally to actually accept this award on behalf of Trevor because for quite a long time Trevor's been a good friend, coach and certainly a mentor for me, certainly in the sporting field. Now unfortunately he couldn't be here tonight because he's very busily getting prepared for the National Basketball League season where his Perth Wildcats, and maybe it's a little bit of sun in Perth, but they're on the road in Adelaide this evening as they have a pre-season game, and then he's on the road again to actually Sydney. But I think for Trevor, I think his story is one of making the most of opportunity because early on in his career, as you've just heard, a really serious injury really changed his focus. But as a result of that, it allowed him to actually travel and make the most of opportunities, firstly in Australia, but then internationally he achieved great success. That has allowed him to actually return to Australia and achieve in the basketball field in Townsville and in Perth now some major individual and team milestones, which has been great. In talking to him only a couple of days ago, he's very, very excited because he's part of the Australian Boomers national team as an assistant coach. They've just travelled through Europe and have just qualified for the Rio Olympics in 2016. So his preparation over the next 12 months is very exciting because arguably it is probably one of the best teams that Australia's put together, and they're in a real contention to certainly win a medal at the next Olympics. So certainly he's very proud and very honoured to be actually as part of the Emmanuel Alumni. So thanks.
Juliette Perud is a student of VCE drama, and tonight she will be performing her solo monologue in a non-naturalistic style, for which she was required to use transformation of object and character. Juliette has taken a stereotyped character and explored aspects of the character's life that has shaped them into what they are today. Please welcome to the stage Juliette Perud to perform her solo monologue, The Vegan Hippie.
Hello everyone, I am Rainbow Sunshine Flower, and today I'm going to be singing you my own original homegrown song called Corn on the Cob. Let's begin. When my dad left my mum because she ate too much corn, she said the world had never been so torn. Then she cried and ate more corn. I never thought of corn till then. Corn on the cob, yum, yum. Sweet, yellow, delicious corn, free from cruelty and nutritious. Nothing is as delicious as corn. Thank you. That was Corn on the Cob. I would just like to say to my fellow vegan activists here today how much I appreciate your love in this cruel and harsh world. We need each other, along with Jesus and corn, to get us through this harsh life. You know, my life hasn't always been about love, peace and corn. Let me degraze you. Indulge me, my vegans. My life was a horror story prior to my eyes opening up to vegetables and love. I remember my childhood was filled with horror and carnivorism. Because I lived on a dairy farm, you see, I got teased at school for smelling of cow dung and sour milk. The mooing screams, moo, moo. They still penetrate my very soul. Animals are alive like us. They breathe like us and have feelings like us. I had a pet cow once. His name was Lettuce. I still remember how he died. Lettuce, it's okay. Dad's going to take you to a nice home where you have more room to run around. It's okay. Well, it wasn't okay. My dad didn't take him to a nice home. I knew Lettuce was saying to me, I'm going to the slaughterhouse, moo. I can still see a tear in his very eye. I'm just so thankful for life and all the beautiful things on this earth, like vegetables and animals. Giddy up! But then I remember my father talking at the dinner table while eating a lamb shank. animals are meant to be. They're on this earth for us, and that's what it says in the Bible, and that's what I'm going to do. So if you don't mind, let me eat this baby lamb carcass in peace. Bah! It's horror. Every time I look into the eyes of an animal, I envision the pork, roasted ribs my dad had on a Sunday night. The smell, it just enveloped through the whole house, up the stairs. It's horror. My whole life was, eat me. Free me, no eat me. Free me, no eat me. My birth name was Brenda Shepherd. And as you can imagine, living on a dairy farm, the taunting tants of my classmates. Shepherd's pie, shepherd's pie, shepherd's pie. Anyway, I never have to eat meat again because I'm free and my dad's dead. Thank you.
Kate Farley of Year 8 went through an extensive audition process and was selected to train part-time with the Australian Ballet School in Melbourne this year as part of the Interstate International Training Program. Kate is hoping to be accepted full-time into the program next year and attend the Victorian College of Arts Secondary School. Please welcome to the stage, Kate Farley. Annabelle Ziegler is no stranger to the stage, having previously performed leading roles in both Emmanuel College and Holiday Actors productions. Annabelle recently won the Ellis Bickley Award for Public Speaking, an open section award with no age limit, described often as the jewel in the crown of the public speaking section in the city of Warrnambool, Stedford. Annabelle was also a state finalist in the Rostrum Voice of Youth competition. Please welcome to the stage with her speech, Friend or Foe, Annabelle Ziegler.
There is no question that we live in a world filled with technology. We can order our coffee online before we even speak to the barista, and we can argue with a person 3,000 kilometres away about which artist really deserved the Grammy Award, Beyonce or Beck. With Facebook, we can find out that our third cousin, twice removed on our mother's side, lives only 50 kilometres away, without having to sit through a history lesson with our grandmother. It takes 2 minutes to make a new friend from Zimbabwe and 30 seconds to receive hate over Twitter. Yes, technology presents the whole world at one's fingertips, and it has opened numerous doors for the leaders of our generation in medicine, science, and popular culture. But is technology our friend or our foe? Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and esteemed guests. I found myself asking this question recently while I was babysitting a gorgeous 2-year-old boy, bright and intelligent. We were reading my favourite book as a child, Belinda the Cow, and all was going well. He was enjoying the antics of this crazy bovine, and I was feeling like babysitter of the year. That is, until I asked him to turn the page. What did this bubbly boy do? He very carefully slid his finger from right to left straight across the book, just as he had done many times on his very own iPad. It immediately became apparent to me that this tradition of reading to a child before they go to bed, one that I experienced myself throughout my own childhood, is slipping away as interactive learning takes over. We understand and remember less from a hyperlinked text, and we experience less emotional depth from a hyperlinked life. We are now on the cusp of all photos being taken on iPhones. The more the camera can do, the less possible being present becomes. The question to be asked is, what are we becoming? Is the development of this amazing technology really making us, or inevitably breaking us? The development of science and technology has had enormous benefits for humanity. In the past, many children died before adolescence. Now, with simple hygiene and medicine, this is no longer inevitable. This is our reality, yet many people, whilst recognising the advances brought about by science, are also suspicious of it. This is because great damage to human life and the natural world has also been done by the use of science and technology. We live on a polluted planet. War leads to mass extermination, leading to threat of extinction from nuclear weapons. Here we have something that could be so beneficial for humanity, for every single person who uses it, and many are afraid. They are afraid because it is new and different, and it can open so many doors, yet what is behind those doors is terrifyingly unknown. As we advance further into the 21st century, technology is becoming further integrated into our society, especially in education. Yes, smartphones and tablets have redefined socialising and human contact, but these innovations also have a profound impact on classroom learning. When technology is integrated into school lessons, students are more likely to be focused on and interested in the subjects they are studying. Subjects that might be monotonous for some, such as the repetitive calculations of maths and science, become much more engaging for learners. Essentially, this enormous inflation in the use of technology in the classroom is better preparing our younger generations for the future, for the era of touchscreens. Perhaps technology really is further involving us, moulding us, creating and relating us with one another. Perhaps there is no reason to be wary. Perhaps we should rather embrace than deny. However, there are also dark negatives, the luminous screen hiding a sinister truth. Our increasingly connected world has created yet another platform for bullies to harass their victims. No longer are these people confined to picking on other kids in the school playground. Today, many bullies are refraining from physical assaults, opting instead for around-the-clock bashing via email, social media and other online platforms. More than 50% of adolescents report to have been cyberbullied, and every day, all around the world, people are tortured. Many used to find that home was a sanctuary from fear, from hatred, from heartbreak and resentment. With cyberbullying, a masked villain in the form of a blank profile penetrates those walls of safety, smartphones enabling them to enter their heads and attack with words of hate and disgust. The scars are no longer visible. Physical bruising is almost a thing of the past. Now, the pain is inside and all-encompassing. Cyberbullying builds character like nuclear waste creates superheroes. It's a rare occurrence and often does much more damage than endowment. So perhaps there is a pattern. Maybe it isn't technology that is inherently bad. Maybe it's us. Humans have flaws, and we often take advantage and succumb to our own desires, passions and feelings with little thought for whom it may affect. Often our hearts can take advantage of something that was meant for good and use it for evil. So we return to our original question: is technology good or bad? Friend or foe? Now, I won't deny that I myself enjoy a good hour or two following various boy band members every day, but I also won't deny that similarly I have found myself distracted from and therefore disadvantaged in my VCE studies. Yes, technology opens doors, and yes, it has created pathways in medicine, engineering, design and media that we never dared to dream of walking upon, but it has also allowed hate, discouragement, discrimination, misunderstanding, war and death, and sometimes the doors it opens lead only to darkness. We make with what we give, and technology has power beyond comprehension to heal, thus destroy. It is our choice which name we choose to assign. Friend or foe? Thank you.
Dr. Lawrence Gleeson. Dr. Lawrence Gleeson started primary school at St Anne's College in 1952, travelling in from Killarney on the workers' bus each day. Attending St Joseph's CBC from 1954, Laurie was a student when the new school, now the M Block, was opened in 1955. Graduating in 1963 with 4 first-class honours, Laurie won an Australian Agricultural Council scholarship to study veterinary science. During his studies, Laurie spent summers doing farm work on large properties, learning to ride and working as a station hand and stockman. Laurie graduated in 1968 and commenced veterinary practice in Geelong. In 1970, he married Margaret Park and they moved to Bunbury in Western Australia, where Laurie's work was mainly with dairy cattle. By 1974, Laurie and Margaret had 2 children, Jenny and Barney. Laurie decided to change the direction of his career and accepted an Equine Research Foundation scholarship to work on equine viruses and completed a Master's in Veterinary Science. In 1976, the family moved to the USA while Laurie undertook a PhD in veterinary virology at Cornell University's New York State Veterinary College. In September 1980, Laurie returned to Australia and took a position with the Victorian Department of Agriculture as a veterinary pathologist at the Veterinary Research Institute with responsibilities of the diagnostic laboratories, where a significant activity was first recognition of the infectious cause of the emerging koala infertility problem. He also acquired a psittacosis infection while engaged in this work and spent a week in Fairfield Hospital. A move to the CSIRO in 1987 saw Laurie involved in developing tests for swine fever and rabies. The family later moved to Thailand, where he was project leader of a joint CSIRO Thai government research project on foot and mouth disease. On returning to Geelong at the end of 1990, Laurie spent 6 years as the leader of the diagnostic services team, involved in the initial diagnosis of Hendra virus and also the newly recognised bat rabies viruses. The Hendra team was awarded the CSIRO chairman's gold medal for its work. Laurie and Margaret returned to Thailand when he was selected as the inaugural coordinator of the Southeast Asian Foot and Mouth Disease Control Program under the World Organization for Animal Health. After 4 years setting this program in place, Laurie returned to the CSIRO, again managing the diagnostic service, as well as undertaking international work in Laos, China and Vietnam on various diseases, including SARS and avian influenza. When the avian influenza crisis in Asia was gathering momentum, Laurie was recruited by the United Nations to establish a regional control program for Asia and the Pacific. After retirement, Laurie continues to undertake consultancy work on animal disease control programs for the United Nations and other organisations. In 2010, Laurie was awarded the Kesteven Medal by the Australian Veterinary Association for his outstanding contribution to international veterinary science. We welcome Dr. Lawrence Gleeson to the Emmanuel College Inspiring Alumni.
Please welcome to the stage Dr. Lawrence Gleeson.
Do not touch the microphone, okay. First of all, this is a great privilege, a great honour. I feel very proud. The last time I was on this stage I think it was the old town hall stage, the school concert in 1962, and I was murdering Wooden Heart with a harmonica. These guys that just played before really do put me to shame. And the other thing was, I think a couple of years before that, standing out the front while they changed the props in the back and doing a recital of a poem from John O'Brien's collection of the Boree Log. And it still comes. Have you ever seen the Durkins at the Sunday morning mass at the little old St. Peter's week by week? Since old man and Granny Durkin, then an Irish lad and lass, made their home upon the flats along the creek, etc. And now it seems I spend my time walking around the house saying, Margaret, where's my wallet? Have you seen my glasses? And so it goes. And that was 54 years ago, I think, and that's clear as a bell. But I had a fortunate life, I believe, and to be here is a reflection of many things in the past. I was a baby boomer, and I guess we were the first generation. I was part of a sort of a group of people that came out of Killarney and were... because of our parents' vision, we were able to go on through a full secondary education and go on to tertiary education. And so I have to acknowledge that and the fact that, during later high school years, Mick had to milk the cows during the week so I could study. I was the conch. And also, I sort of reflect on the fact that, I come from a lineage of dairy farmers, put old cow before, and potato farmers, and I reflect on the fact that, I'm lucky, I'm a product of that heritage where I guess my great-grandfather and my grandfather sort of built the foundations upon which my father was able to educate, my father and mother were able to educate me, so I recognise those, and I guess the pride I recognise my grandfather had in me sort of making it. I went to school at St Anne's, and in spite of all the rhetoric about education, I recognise the 3 R's that were thumped into me there were a great foundation. I don't know why I'm becoming so emotional. It feels a bit like a funeral. I think I'm burying myself slowly up here. Anyway, and of course, on from Sister Patrick and the 3 R's to the CBC, and I guess at times their care was rough and ready, but they brought us up fine and steady, and I really do have to acknowledge the contribution that sort of main sana and corpore sana education gave to me. I wasn't a sportsman, but still that sort of work ethic, I think, stood me in good stead for the rest of my life. And beyond that, you would have noticed that I wandered around a bit, and I did that dragging a family with me, and they really supported me through all of this, and without their support, none of that would have been possible. Thank you.
Emmanuel College students have taken their fashion aspirations to a high level, with several students being accepted at the Gordon Institute, RMIT and Whitehouse, many influenced by our inspiring alumna, Lisa Gorman. From the Faculty of Technology, please welcome to the stage the Fashions of Product Design and Technology classes, created under the tutelage of Miss Joanne Maloney and Miss Sarah El-Haj.
And then she said, it's okay, I got lost on the way, but I'm a super girl, and super girls don't cry. And then she said, it's okay, I got lost on the way, but I'm a super girl, and super girls don't cry. And then she said, it's alright, I got home late last night, but I'm a super girl, and super girls just fly. And then she shot down the lane and tell me she's got no more time, 'cause she's a super girl, and super girls don't hide. And then she screamed in my face and tell me to leave this place, 'cause she's a super girl, and super girls just yes, she's a super girl.
students from Miss Jacinta Skilbeck's Year 11 Visual Communication class were again issued the challenge to design covers for the 2016 student diaries. The theme for which was celebrating 25 years of Emmanuel College. Displayed are this year's winners. Congratulations to Emerson Rivet, Chloe Brownsey and Jed Gleeson on their inspiring designs. The Emmanuel Singers is Emmanuel's contemporary vocal ensemble. Formed in 2013, the group has grown in size and confidence, performing regularly at school functions and civic functions, including placing second at the recent City of Warrnambool Eisteddfod. Please welcome to the stage the Emmanuel Singers under the direction of Miss Maria Carris-Kerr and accompanied by Mr Brendan Donoghue to perform Paradise by Coldplay.
Ah
Emmanuel College acknowledges the following students for their achievements across a wide variety of endeavours. Their achievements are an inspiration to all of us. Angela Kanar, winner, Koroit Lions Youth of the Year. Winner, Portland Youth of the Year in Public Speaking. Emma Ship, winner, Lions Warrnambool Public Speaking Award, and winner, VCAA Plain English Speaking Award and state finalist. Adam Sedgley, winner of the Under-17 National Boys Slalom Water Skiing Championships. Kate Farley, winner of the City of Warrnambool Youth Achiever Awards for Arts and Culture. Winner of the 2016 Australian Ballet Summer School Scholarship. Kate has also been selected to train with the Australian Ballet School in Melbourne. Indiana Sharrock, joint winner, City of Warrnambool Youth Achiever Award for Community Leadership. Indiana was also awarded the Gold Duke of Edinburgh's Award. Jessica Smith, joint winner, the City of Warrnambool Youth Achiever Award for Community Leadership. Jessica was also awarded a Gold Duke of Edinburgh Award, as well as being awarded the Queen Scout Award. Amy Circuit, winner of the City of Warrnambool Youth Achiever Award for Academic Achievement. Jessica Swarbrick, winner of the City of Warrnambool Youth Achiever Award for Sports. Courtney Burke, who raised $2,000 for leukaemia research. Jason Pritchard, selected to compete in the National Swimming Championships in Tasmania. Monique Wilkinson, also selected to compete in the National Swimming Championships in Tasmania. Annabelle Ziegler, winner of the Ellis Bickley Award for Public Speaking at the City of Warrnambool Eisteddfod, and winner of the Public Speaking section of the Rostrum Voice of Youth and state finalist. Megan Radley, winner of the inaugural Southwest International Women's Day Art Prize in the Youth section. Hayne Rymett, recipient of the Victorian Vocational Student Prize for demonstrated outstanding skills in vet technical production. Bridget Smith, awarded the Gold Duke of Edinburgh Award. Genevieve O'Connor, awarded the Gold Duke of Edinburgh Award. Olivia Nidri, awarded the Gold Duke of Edinburgh Award. Regan Kelly, selected as an Australian football umpire to represent Victoria at the School Sport Australia Football Championships. Caitlin Evans, selected to attend the National Youth Science Forum in Canberra. Michelle Chambers, winner of the Victorian Clay Target Championships Women Open section with past student Luella Foster. Jacob Gome, a high distinction in the Big Science competition and high distinction in the Australian Mathematics competition, achieving in the top 1% of the state for his year level. Ryan Pritchard achieved in the top 1% of the state for his year level in the Australian Mathematics competition. Sam Couch, Jed Gleeson, Joseph Clough, Genevieve Pope, Jacob Pope and Sarasa Deguchi, who all earned high distinctions in the Big Science competition, placing them in the top 5% of the state. Will Ripley, selected for finals of the Young ICT Explorers competition. Lauren Wrigley, winner of 3 singing sections in the Warrnambool Eisteddfod and selected for the Victorian College of the Arts Music Theatre Studio program for 2015. And Harrison Price, who was selected to represent Victoria at the centenary celebrations at Gallipoli in April of 2015. These students' achievements are representative of the truly inspiring achievements of Emmanuel College students. We are proud of each one of them and encourage them to continue to pursue excellence in all they do.
Patrick Houlihan. Patrick Houlihan grew up on a small family dairy farm in Winslow and is the oldest child of Bill and Beverly. His 4 brothers and 1 sister all attended the college, and all 6 children went on to university and graduated with science degrees. A member of the graduating class of 1984, Patrick was a college prefect in Year 12 and graduated as the Dux of Science. Patrick says that his time at CBC ingrained a sense of curiosity and helped him to understand that science is an enabler of so much of what we enjoy in society. At one time, he was considering getting a job in a bank, but his teachers, especially John Hingston, encouraged him to broaden his horizons and consider progressing to university. Patrick completed a Bachelor of Science at the University of Melbourne, residing on campus at St Mary's College while also working to fund his studies. Graduating with first-class honours in chemistry, Patrick was then accepted to undertake a Doctor of Philosophy in Chemistry in 1989. However, he chose to defer this and accepted employment as a graduate industrial chemist at Dulux Paints in Melbourne, which at that time was part of the Australian division of UK global giant ICI. Patrick spent 9 years in research and development, eventually leading the company's polymer technology team. His work has been recognised with 3 international patents, and his team was awarded ICI's Global Award in Colloid Chemistry. He also worked at ICI's Research and Development Hub in Cleveland, Ohio in the US during the 90s, and it was here that he met his wife Susan. Upon his return to Australia, Patrick undertook a Master of Business Administration at the Monash Mount Eliza Business School while continuing his work as a chemist. He graduated with the Directors Award, awarded to the top 5% of graduating students. During a time of great change in the company, Patrick transitioned through a succession of commercial and senior leadership roles within the business, and in 2011 was appointed to his current role of Dulux Group Managing Director and CEO. The company has operations in Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, Southeast Asia and China, and has in excess of 4,000 employees. Dulux Group entered the S&P ASX 100 in 2014. Along with his career and academic achievements, Patrick has been an excellent example of the Catholic ethos of service that he learned as a student at CBC. He has served on the Advisory Council of St Mary's College at the University of Melbourne and was appointed as a director of the Murdoch Children's Research Institute, which is world-renowned for its research into infant, child and adolescent health. He is also a member of the Australian Institute of Company Directors, a member of the Business Council of Australia, and is an ambassador to the National Association of Women in Operations. We congratulate Patrick Houlihan on his achievements in the field of business.
Please welcome to the stage Patrick Houlihan.
Well, as per my fellow inductees, it's truly an honour and a privilege to accept this award. It's fantastic to be here tonight and really see another evolution of Emmanuel College's community and the field of community. And I just want to thank you, Peter, and the College Council and all in Emmanuel, not only for bestowing this honour on myself, but I think tonight actually seeing the current students bring to life what I experienced as a student at CBC is just a fantastic feel that the current custodians are continuing on that tradition. I'm really proud of my time and my education by the Christian Brothers. I think they did an outstanding job. They really instilled in us not just a broad education, but they taught us to challenge ourselves and think beyond our boundaries. They taught us to embrace new opportunities. They taught us to think about the fact that you might be confronted with something you're reluctant to do, but when you actually do it and you look back, you think that was easier than you thought. And the more you do, the more you realise you can do. Today, I still anchor myself in that background, and the students might be interested to know the photo on the screen shot on the home screen of my iPad is the driveway at my farm, my parents' farm in Winslow, where I grew up. And I always think back to the time as a little kid, you don't know what's beyond the farm gate, and as you eventually go into school in Warrnambool, you learn more, and as you go through your education and your own self-learning, you continue to learn more and think about what's possible. But every day I wake up, I see that image, and it reminds me of what lies ahead, and you don't know, but the exploration and the journey is a fantastic thing, and the Christian Brothers were a key part of that. I specifically want to acknowledge the late Mr. John Hingston, who was mentioned in the speech there. He was our science teacher. He really enabled in myself a love of science and a love of chemistry. So much of what we enjoy in society really comes from science, and it's interesting that myself and my 5 other siblings all went on to do science degrees in Melbourne, and that really came from John Hingston. So it's unfortunate that a few years ago he passed on, but his legacy lives on, and I personally really value that. I also want to acknowledge my family and friends tonight. In fact, I've got a lot of cousins in the audience as well, and one of my cousins' children just got an award on the stage there. When you've got relatives called Houlihan, Finnegan, Kennedy and O'Dwyer, you're going to have a few relatives in the audience, but it's fantastic to see that. I want to acknowledge my wife Susan and my children Liam, Caroline and Phoebe. In my job, it's a very demanding job in terms of time and travel, and they're really very accepting and hugely supportive of what I do, and I couldn't do it without them. And finally, I just want to thank my parents, Bill and Beverly, who made huge sacrifices to get all of us 6 kids through an education. They kept the banks from the door, and a lot of you know about experiences like that. My dad worked 2 jobs, working in the supermarket and also keeping the farm going, and he put all 6 of us through university. And he's a hero for me, and so is my mother, so thank you.
In 2014, the story of Annie, an orphan determined to find her parents, delighted a sold-out series of performances at the Lighthouse Theatre. Tonight, Year 12 student Angela Kanar takes us on a trip down memory lane as we look back on the colour and movement of Annie. Please welcome to the stage Angela Kanar performing Tomorrow.
Oh, the sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. When I'm stuck with the day that's grey and lonely, I just stick up my chin and grin and say, oh, the sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you tomorrow. You're always a day away. Oh, the sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. stuck with the day that's grey and lonely. I just stick up my chin and grin and say, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're always a day away. Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're always a day away. Thank you.
– 2016 will be the 45th anniversary of a very special musical by Jim Jacobs and Warren Casey. Named after the 1950s United States working class youth subculture, the musical is set in 1959 at fictional Rydell High School and follows 10 working class teenagers as they navigate the complexities of peer pressure, politics, personal core values and love. Please welcome to the stage Vanessa Parkinson to perform Hopelessly Devoted to You from the show that will be the Emmanuel College production for 2016, Grease.
Guess mine is not the first heartbroken. My eyes are not the first to cry. I'm not the first to know. There's just no getting over you.
Patrick Muggavan was born in 1950, the second eldest in a family of 9, and was raised on a dairy farm in the Wollaston Road area of Warrnambool. Patrick speaks highly of the influence and encouragement of his teachers at CBC. Patrick Muggavan was born at the school. Patrick was a keen footballer and the cricket captain. He developed strong leadership skills in Year 11 and as a prefect in 1966. He was also the college captain in 1967. Despite an early interest in agriculture as a future career, Patrick entered the Corpus Christi Seminary in Werribee in 1968. Reading the Columban missionary magazine The Far East inspired Patrick to a worldwide vision of the church and social justice. He spent his summer breaks working on remote mission stations in the jungles of Papua New Guinea, where the people suffered the lack of health services, education and literacy. Ordained as a priest in Warrnambool in 1974, Patrick served in the parishes of Horsham, Mildura and Ballarat. A visit to India in 1978 had a profound effect on Patrick. An exploration of Eastern spirituality led him to discover a rich Catholic heritage of meditation and contemplative practices. In 1982, Patrick was appointed the Foundational Director of Youth Ministry in the Ballarat Diocese, supporting youth and young adults in their journey of faith. From 1985, Patrick spent 6 years serving in Chile, South America, after spending 5 months at language school in Bolivia. He worked and lived with the poorest of poor in the shanty town of Santiago during a volatile period under General Pinochet. During Pinochet's dictatorship, the military-ruled Chile and political dissidents was punished. It is estimated that between 10 and 30,000 people went missing and that 200,000 Chileans were forced into exile. In endeavouring to be the voice of the voiceless, the priest and the parish were regarded as enemies of the state. During that time, Patrick worked closely with families of the tortured and disappeared. In 2011, the Chilean government officially recognised over 36,000 survivors of torture and political imprisonment, as well as over 3,000 people killed or disappeared at the hands of the military government. Patrick was inspired by the courage and faith of the victims of torture and the families of those who disappeared. Returning to the diocese, Patrick again found himself in Mildura. In 2000, Patrick spent a year in Chicago at the Institute for Spiritual Leadership, an organisation committed to equipping leaders in the ministry to be influential in the community in which they live. This was to help Patrick in the difficult work that was yet to come. Since 1996, Patrick has continuously been deeply involved with the victims and family of those sexually abused by the clergy. Extensive media appearances, public meetings, cleansing rituals, symbolic actions, removal of names from church foundation stones. These were some of the actions he led in this sad and traumatised time. Patrick has continued to be involved with many such survivors and their families over succeeding years until the present. He continues to be an outspoken advocate for the addressing of this injustice. This year, Patrick has completed 40 years of ordained ministry, and he is parish priest of St Mary's Parish, Hamilton. We recognise Father Patrick Muggavan for the life of service to the poor, the persecuted and the marginalised.
Please welcome to the stage Father Patrick Muggavan.
Well, good evening, everyone, and congratulations to our inspiring young people. As my family know, I'm somewhat embarrassed and humbled to be named this night, even though proud to be within the school community that so formed and shaped me. But I do so, and am happy to do so, to speak on behalf of the many inspirational people, especially the heavy burdened who will never be called onto this stage. They are the ones who inspire me day after day as I meet them, facing sickness, carrying family burdens, caring for handicapped family members, or dealing with mental illness, substance abuse, and even sexual abuse by church personnel, or facing death situations. They generously and faithfully sacrifice themselves for their loved ones and others on a daily basis. They're the people who are inspirational, and I accept the induction on their behalf. In more recent times, in these days of the Royal Commission, I've been inspired by those who have the courage to speak out their story of church abuse. It's not an inspirational story as such, but I've been inspired by their courage and determination to want to change this church of ours, which has been stolen from them. And if there indeed be survivors amongst us tonight, we need you and your voice to teach us as church as to what went wrong and what needs to change. I can't help but remember being inspired by those many parents who spent countless hours working to build this school and its ovals, my dad included, driving the little Fergie in from Wollaston, shaping the ovals in both CBC and St Anne's, installing irrigation systems, building the CBC chapel with voluntary labour. What an inspiration were those men and women. Inspirational schools are built by whole family involvement. It was so in the past, it remains so today. And on a more personal note, there is no way I would still be on this journey of priesthood and ministry if it wasn't for the unconditional love and support of my family, many of whom are here this evening, where I remain simply their Patrick. And also, as for me, there's nothing more inspirational than the vocation to be a teacher. And so a heartfelt thank you to all our teachers, past and present. And in conclusion, I'm just one among many who is inspired by the Christ child, Emmanuel, born and died among us, to teach us how to live fully human lives. And am so inspired to love as did Emmanuel, and to give my life as did Emmanuel. May Emmanuel College continue to keep alive this vision bequeathed to us.
Ladies and gentlemen, our evening of inspiration is almost at a close. Before our final act performs, there are a number of people whom we wish to acknowledge and thank. Thank you firstly to all of tonight's inspiring performers and achievers. Thank you also to the staff of the Lighthouse Theatre. From Emmanuel College, we thank Nicholas Frampton, producer, Robert Ford, technical direction and lighting, Jackie Carruthers, stage manager, Jean Christie, marketing, as well as Brendan Donahue, Maria Carris-Kerr, Sophie Pekin, Joanne Maloney, Sarah Elhaj, Megan Davies, Matthew Price and Matthew Speed. For their work backstage, students Patrick Brady and Dominic Curra, and in the foyer, our announcer, Tom Kelly. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for their work. The members of tonight's final act are students of Emmanuel's leading vet music program. To perform the track Brother, please welcome to the stage Tears of Joy featuring Chloe Mutzes, Nicola McKenzie and Joseph Brady. Good evening, travel safely And happy Father's Day for Sunday for all of our fathers.
Sleep now under my skin, make sure you try to conjure the wind and ease my mind. Somebody call out to your brother, he's calling out your name. Oh, hiding under the covers with no one else to blame. Oh, couldn't help out your neighbor, you couldn't tell it to his face. There was only you to blame. You cower in the corner, confide in your father, let it out and say. You cower in the corner, confide in your father, let it pass away, let it break your day. Wait there, pull yourself out of this state. Deep acknowledge you were a fake. From then on you might just grow. Oh. Somebody call up to your brother, he's calling out your name. Oh, hiding under the covers, no one else to blame. La-di-da-da-da-da. You couldn't help out your neighbor, you couldn't tell it to his face. There was only you to blame. Oh, somebody call out to your brother.